Oh, good morning, everyone. Just having my last cup of tea, but drink of tea there before I start today. Good morning to 21st of October. We're almost finished October. To Timeout Tuesday this morning. Um, I hope you've been able to join me this morning. Today I'm going to, well, before I start, maybe have you ever been a bit of a procrastinator? I sometimes do. If there's something I don't want to do, I can put it off for a while. I know that I'm surrounded by people like that. But I had bought this because I thought this would be very useful. It's called Christmas Tags and More. Mix and Match Specialty Designer Series paper. I'm going to let you have a look at it. It's been sitting, it's a 6x6 paper, and it's probably a bit strong for my taste, but this is the other side, which is quite pretty too. So you get I think it's 6 sheets of each. 3, 5, 6, probably about 6, I think, or 7. And then there's this one, which is really pretty on that side, and it's got this on the other side. Okay. So just to show you that there is that one. Then there's this one that has some mistletoe. And the other side of this one is this. Now, I'm going to be actually using these two today. I'm going to show you how I use that. My challenge was to try and do something with these, but I didn't need to do any stamping. So, and then there's this one, which you can cut up and make into tags or whatever. So, and that's the other side of it. So that's it. Yep, that's them. So it's called Christmas, and Christmas. Keep forgetting Christmas tags and more. Okay, Christmas tags and more. So let's get started. I'm just going to very quickly do these this morning. I've got them sort of semi-prepared. So basically, the colors that you can use with this, well, you can use whatever you would like, but they recommend cherry cobbler, crumb cake, garden green, real red, and soft sea foam. So I've gone with that actually today. So this is my first card. So you can see this was the this one, and I've just cut it off and I've made it so it can fit on a garden green. Now that wasn't one of the colors that they said, but I'm going to fit it on the front of this here. And it's going to be really, really simple. So let's do that. I'll get my glue. I wanted something that you could really whip up very quickly. Of course, you can put an insert in them as well. And add some more. Just let me try that again. Sticking to my fingers this morning. A little bit high up, but that's okay. We'll leave it like that, I think. No, I don't like that like that. Huff, bit of a huff. And that means that I can get it off and put it back on again. That's probably better. I prefer that, okay? Now, also I'm going to be using these. These are called Greetings for You Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. So, on one side of these is the sentiment, and the other side you can peel it off and stick it on. So I'm going to do that with this one. So that's just made of a fairly firm cardstock. And if I just get that there like that, that's one bit peeled off. And the other bit when I get it away from the J. Okay, so now it's sticky on the other side. And I'm just going to put my joy there. And I've got some holly here, and this is one of the, on one of the, oh, I know what I forgot to show you. On one of these pages, which I don't have in here, there are cutouts, and I take them out because they're inclined to fall out anyway. Cutouts of all sorts of different things, trees, and so on. So this is one of the cutouts, or the die cuts. And what I'm going to do, I think there must be some paper still on it. There is indeed. That's why it doesn't want to sit down. Let me get my pick. Pull that off. There we go. Now it'll sit. Okay. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this so that it can sit on my card a little raised. And I shall put that down there. There we go. And that's my first card. You can see that was really, really simple. So card number 1. Card number 2, I used soft seafoam, and again I used one of those, the other one that we had here, which was this one. And I've cut it to size and soft seafoam, and I'm going to turn this over. So these are really, really simple cards, so you won't need to make some up in a hurry. They're so quick, okay? And for this one, I just have 'Tis the Season, and I'm going to put this on dimensionals this time, just for variety. So let's do that. I'm not going to take a sticky back off. All I'm going to do is stick the dimensional on top of the sticky back, like so, and move that out of my way. And it says 'Tis the Season, and that's another one of the ones from the ephemera pack. There we go. Now, the other thing I can do to this is I've got some of these pretty sparkle gems here. And what I can do is I can add, maybe on this one, or I think I might add green up here. Maybe one there, and a small green one there. Okay, so that's that one completely finished, as you can see. This one, I'd also go with green. Probably put one down there, bigger one there, and a bigger one there. Card number 2. So I told you this is very, very quick today. Next card I've used crumb cake is my base. Now this is the piece I cut off. Let's pull this all right. I wanted something to be really quick this morning. So this is the piece that was cut off the edge of this here. You can see that it was on this, one of the sides. I can't remember which side it was on. That's the other side, so you could use that. But because I wanted to use a crumb cake base, I cut it the size of the card, turn it over, place it on my card. I'm not going to quite put it to the edge. I'm going to just bring it in a tiny little bit. A bit too low. Sometimes it's easier if you turn them a little to their side. That's much better. There we go. Okay, now I've got 2 of those cuts that I had. These here. And I'm going to use that. So I've got one with holly on it and one with stockings. And I'm just going to put those down like that. I'm going to put the holly one flat on the card. So, but I'm going to angle it, I think like that. And then this one, I'm going to put on dimensional. So let's just do that. It's not very good dimensional. The top has come off and it's sort of lost its stickiness. So I don't want to use that one. Put one there. One there. Here. And there. I'm going to put a couple in. one there, and one there. I hope you can see what I'm doing. This looks like I'm slightly off. Okay, let's move that bag out of the way. Now, on the other two cards, I used green. On this one, I might use, so that those all the backs off. This I do. And I'm going to put this straight, like that. Now, I do have somewhere here on my table. I haven't lost it. It's probably slipped underneath here. I'll get another one. I want to put a sentiment on this. Now, got a choice. What do I want to do? I'm thinking I might use From Our House to Yours. It's a pretty sentiment. Okay. And I think I want to use this one. Okay. Now, what I could do if I was so inclined is I think I'll put it up here. And I'm going to put it on dimensionals again. Let's move that one over there for the moment. Let's get this on dimensionals. I could even layer it on a little piece of garden green cardstock. I'm going to put it up here. Those 2 years. And then I think I might put Happy Christmas down the bottom. Okay, so here we go. Got a Happy Christmas here. And I'm just going to put this down here. And I'm also going to put it on sentiments. Or on dimensionals, sorry. And one in the middle. Take the wax off. And I actually think that, put it there. I think that some of the gold gems would be really nice on this. So let's do that. 1, 2, put one down there. And put a larger one here. 3. So that's just another card. Really, really simple. So we've got 3 now. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to pop them right there for now. So I've got room to work on my next one. My next one is real red. And what I've done with this one is I've used one of the dies. Used this paper, which has that on the other side. And I've done a strip. I've embossed this in the Jolly Holly. And I'm going to layer this behind this. So first thing I'm going to do is put that on. So I want to run a piece of tape up the side like this. Turn it over. And I'm just going to put it like that. So that there's just a little bit of that pointing out. And this time, I just want to layer it in a tiny little bit from the edge because I made this smaller than the 14.9 card. So I'm going to layer it as if it's got a red border around it. There we go. Now I've got this. That is going to go on. This is just one of those discs. And I'm going to put it on with some dimensionals. Just like a little wreath. 2, 3. I have a double reason for being very quick this morning because my husband's got a dental appointment. But I decided to do this anyway. I think I want to do that there. Yep. I've got a tiny little joy, and I'm going to put that in the middle, and I'm going to also raise that dimensionals. So let's do that. And there. Put a 2 on that. I could stick it flat on this, but I actually think putting it on dimensionals, because it sort of fits inside the, seems to be further away today. I'm not quite sure why, but not as close to the cards as we usually are. No, I'm going to get some of my red ones this time. Yeah, I think I'm going to use my red ones this time. I'm going to put one here, one, two, three. There we go. So you can see that one. You can see the gems on it. It's the 4th card. As I said, these are going together really quickly. Oh, here we go. Next one. Got some twine for this one. Okay, so for this, I have used one of the embossing folders, the gingham one, and done it in white. And this is going to go on the base first. So let's do that. This is a lovely background, particularly on Christmas cards as well. You could even color it if you wished. So that's in place. And then I've got a piece of the cardstock and this. And I thought for this one, I might do this. Okay. So I'm just going to stick this onto the, so I'm going to use not the side that I used on the last card, but the other side. I'm going to set this in here, like so. There we go. And then I'm going to put this on dimensionals. I can hear myself talking. One there, one there, one there, one there. I did a little bit of cutting of these edge ones before I started, so it makes it quicker. Okay, now this looks to be a candidate for green gems. So let's get the backs off. I think last week my recording was quite long, but this week it's going to be a little bit shorter. So I put that down there. There we go. Now I've got my Marion Bright, and I've cut a circle out in garden green. It's just a little bit bigger than this. And I'm going to also use dimensionals on this. Lots of dimensionals today. And there. One down there. And I'm going to raise that up on the green one and then put the green one flat on the card. So let's do that. Circle it off, Marion Bright. And that's just going to go on the bottom like this. So let's put some tape on the back. Oh, I know what I was going to do too. I was going to put a tiny little bit of gold thread on this. This is gold and white. So what I thought I might do is just put a little bit of tape down there. And I'm just going to do something a little bit different. It's like a 3-leaf clover. And then I'll put this on top. Like that. Okay. Now I want to put some of the green ones on here. Let's do in there. Down there. And maybe one up there. And that's the next card. Okay. Right, so firing on all cylinders here. got 2 more cards to do, so let's do this one. Now, one thing I did forget to bring over with me was my thread to do this one. So this one's going to be slightly different to the other. I was going to use twine on this one. The backs are sort of off this, so just leave it there for now. I'm going to put this in the middle, like so. I'm using the other side of this. And then I've got 2 of these. And what I want to do is I'm going to quickly grab, sorry, no, we've got on the other side of that, that's right. I'm going to stick, before I even do that, I'm going to stick, I'll leave that for a moment. I'm going to put these on first. Let me grab my thread that I want to use, which is in here. Got some red and white thread, I think I'll use in this one. Okay. So, I might bring this up a little bit in the back so I can put some tape along there, because I want to put that there. And get my scissors. I'm going to cut this a little longer than I need. The other one right there, and cut it longer than I need. No reason for that. Okay, so this is going to go like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over, put it through here, and I'm cheating a little bit on this one, as you'll see. Could have made the bow first, but I'm going to cheat a little bit on this one. That's going to go there. And I'm going to cut those backs off in a minute. And that's going to sit like that. Okay. So what I want to do is put a little bit of tape on that. A little bit of tape. As I said, I'm making this up as I go along. So that will hold that. And then I can cut that excess off. I'm going to leave it like that for a moment. This one's going to be shorter. So let's do there. I want it even shorter, I think. Right there. Let's cut that, and I'm going to turn it over. Put some tape on the back. And that one's going to go flat, like so. And this one, I think I might actually raise this one. I think that might be a nice thing to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, stick it to the wrong side of me. Right, now let's raise this. As I said, really, really simple. Right. Now, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put it like that on the bottom with the holly up. Don't know if this was the way I decided to do it first of all, but this is what I'm doing now. And then this is going to go underneath, and I'm going to put it on dimensionals. So one there, and one in the middle, and it's almost finished. Take the backs off. And that. Now, you notice that I'm not quite finished yet, because what I want to do is to make a couple of little bows. And they're going to be smallish bows, so because I want them to be small. There's one. Let's do another one. Don't ever throw away your old twine that you've got, because you never know when you can use it. You can use it even on Christmas gifts and things like that. Or if you're making tags, this sort of thing is really useful for making tags. So it may not be always current, but it's worthwhile holding on to it. Just tighten it a little bit, and then I'll reduce the sides and I'll cut the bottom off. There we go. Now I'm going to get my glue dots this time. And what I'm going to do is put a glue dot there. And then my bow there. And another glue dot. There. Stop it sticking to my finger. And that. I reckon in this one I should do some green ones. Okay. Maybe one up there. Another one here. And a slightly larger one. Actually, I might use one of the big ones down here. There we go. So that's the next card. Now, last one I'm doing today is on real red. And again, this is two of the cutouts that we have with this strip. I can't remember what I was doing with this, but something like this. As you can see, I haven't put anything on the inside at the moment. This is just, oh yes, I was going to do this similar to what I did with the other one. So you can see this was the side that I'd cut off the one that had these bubbles on. Okay, that's the other side of it. So I'm going to put that on probably about there. I'm going to leave it up a wee bit because that's better. A little bit in the top and a little bit in the bottom. Okay, now I've got these two pieces here. I could use that side, but I think I want to use this side. And this one down here. And then I've got a poinsettia die cut. And I think I want to use that up there. Let me just place these. And actually, I might do it this way. The poinsettia die cut up there. And that. Okay, let's get this on. I'll put this one on first with some glue. There we go. That's where I want that. Yeah, I think that's where I want one. And this one like this. Okay, so let's plop this one up in dimensionals like the other ones. Now, you don't need a lot of skill to make these cards because the work is done for you. And it's a great set if you're wanting to do a beginner class and you just want to use these. It's a great set to use for that. Also would make great gift tags, which I want to do later on another podcast. So I'm going to put that like that. And then this I'm going to put on dimensionals. So let's put one on that leaf, one on that leaf, and one down there. Use lots of dimensionals today. I'm just going to put that up there. Now, I think on this one, I want to use one of these gold ones on top of my tree like that. Maybe that one there. And helps if you stick it the right side down. There. We'll put those aside. Set that aside. So let's have a look at all our cards today. So you can see that in here we've got poinsettias, trees, tag things, candy canes, more bubbles and so on. So let's have a look at all the cards I made in that half hour. Okay, which is a lot today. Card number 1. Oh, I haven't put the sentiment on yet. And I'm going to put that down there. And I think I also want to raise that one dimensionals. Not sure if I've really cut. Used all the ones I've cut. Let's do that before I finish this card. Go. 'Tis the season to be jolly. There we go. So that was my last one. Here's my first one. Just 2 of the cutouts. Actually, that wasn't my first one. This was my first one. And this is just using that. And you could use it the other way too if you wanted to. You could go that way. Make it a long card. 1, 2. This one, they're not in the order I made them, but that's okay. 3. Did this one earlier. 4. 5. Then I did this one with just the little bows on it. And this one. So that is 7 cards. How quick was that? So you got that. Just pop them all next to each other so that you can see that they are quite different in many ways and yet probably the same. So that's what I've done today. So don't overlook the this stamp set or this DSP, Christmas Tags and More. It's on, I'll just quickly look on the catalogue because I remember it's on, I'll look up the index first because it'll be quicker than looking paper. Christmas, where are you? Designer series paper. Traditions of Christmas, that's not that one. Just can't find it now. It's near the beginning, I think. I think it's very close to here somewhere. That's some of it. There it is. Okay. Christmas Tags and More. It's on page 15 and it's $21.75 in Australia, which is a really good price. And the ephemera is up above it and it's 15. So you could get probably maybe 80 cards out of this for around $30-40, which I think is pretty good value. And these are all the different cutouts that you've got to put on. So, you could quickly do a whole lot. I did 7.5 an hour, and I reckon you could do a lot more. And then if you want to add a sentiment inside, you can put your white card on and do that. So that's me for today. I hope you've enjoyed today, and I'm not sure how to move this on to me at all. Oh, there we are. I don't know what I did. Maybe I didn't do anything. And I will see you next week. And we'll be in the last week of October. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing next week. We're going off to retreat this weekend. So you might have a show and tell next Tuesday. Okay, take care of yourselves, everyone. And I will see you there. Bye.